Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, good whatever time of day it may be for you, ladies and gentlemen. I am the Layback Gamer, and probably asked by no one yet because I've been really enjoying this as of late. I'm bringing to you some Sid Meier's Civilization 4 with the mod Rise of Mankind. Now, I'm not sure how many series or how many mods I'm going to be playing throughout the span of channel, but I do want to start a new series because, well, I've been having a lot of fun with this. I've been playing it for a while now. Well, by a while I mean I think about a week or so, and I've been really enjoying this. So I want to bring it to the channel, especially since I'm at a spot where I'm going, I really am enjoying this. And I haven't quite gotten through a full game of this yet, but with this, I'm hoping that series is going to take us through one entire game of what it's like to play with the Rise of Mankind mod. I might have to lower some graphics. Actually, I should probably do that. Let's see here. No, we'll stick with medium for now. I'm gonna keep it on full screen, and I suppose for now, maybe if it gets to be too much, I will start disabling these or turning them off. But anyways, here we are going to get started. I'm going to explain a lot of stuff while in game. Normally, I do play on Noble and occasionally Prince. The starts that I had, I started this with Warlord with Rise of Mankind with Warlord because I wasn't quite 100% sure what it was going to be like, and then after playing through, I don't know, a few hours on Warlord, I decided to bump it up to Noble, and I think I may have got that start pretty well ironed. So we are going to be playing this on Prince difficulty. Now, I do have some clear favoritism on civilizations in this, and while I am aware that in this mod it does offer the Iroquois as a civilization, let's just find it here. Not quite 100% sure what leader I'd get for that. Well, actually, I think this is the leader that I would get if I played as the Iroquois. 99% sure that is the only leader that you can get with the Iroquois. Despite being Canadian and I believe actually having some ancestry roots that does date back to the natives, maybe even the Iroquois themselves, I'm not going to be playing as them because I'm not the most when I do tend to go to Prince, I always play on one of two civilizations. The one, which we're not going to be playing at, is the Ethiopians. And that one I've had some really good Prince games with. I managed to play them correct to a sense that it worked out very well. And then the other one, which is the one we are going to be playing at specifically, is our neighbors down south, but not too far down south, Washington as the American Empire. Now, in the vanilla Civilization game, this was the closest that I could get to, an actual Canadian. So I played with Washington and specifically a lot because, well, I didn't quite like. I think Roosevelt was the other one that I could play as. Or what was the other one? There's three of them. I forget who the other one was. I don't know. I don't see it. Lincoln, that was the other one. I didn't want to play. I didn't like playing as either of them. I do like the expansive sass. I think it's charismatic. I believe that's what the CHM is short for. And so I would always play as Washington as the American people. Am I going to do that? Or no, I'm not gonna change anything up down here. Well, there's one thing I am going to be changing up down here. But to go through the settings quickly before we continue. My favorite map type all time to play is archipelago. I enjoy, well, I do that so that rushing people is a bit harder for me to do, and because I do like to do some early game rushes, and you can really early game rush in this. I have played Continents a few times. I've played some of these other ones. The first game that I've ever played on this was, and it was the only one that I would play for a while, was Terra. I'm not going to do that. We're just going to stick with Archipelago. In this, it includes some extra map sizes, so Giant and Gigantic. I'm afraid that if I go to Gigantic, it's either going to be, the map's going to be too big and we're going to be waiting like 30 or 40 turns for a ship to reach its destination. I am going to stick it with Giant because, well, I like doing, apparently, I want to do this to myself. We're going to play a snail's pace game, which is even slower than Marathon, and Marathon does take some time. But let's just say this. The one game that I got really, really far into, I had played, I think, for about maybe 48 or anywhere between the realm of 48 and 60 hours, and I was still only in the Renaissance era. And I was the most advanced tech civilization. So, yeah, this is going to take a while. It's going to take a while. We are going to start in the ancient era. I don't want to start in any of these other ones, especially as I do want to work my way to them. We're going to keep the sea level high. This is going to prevent too much interaction with the AI. It's going to have a temperate climate. I'm thinking, I don't know if I want to change this to balanced or not, because the standard resources, you'll get a ton of them throughout the span of a game. A ton of them. I was, I think, in about 20s in some fishing resources like clams, fish, and a new resource called pearls. So, there's a lot. I had a lot. We are going to keep the cylindrical world. It's not going to be flag or whatever that is. Landmass is going to be archipelago. And I think that's all the stuff that we're going to talk about there. Now, in terms of victories, I am going to deselect time because I don't want to be capped at a time limit. However, everything else is turned on. I'm not limiting any victory. I'm not taking out any victories here, with the exception of time, because I do think that, hey, if you're about to, say, score those 2 points that's going to cause you to go from second to first, but you're one turn behind because, I don't know, your ship didn't arrive there in time, or you had to make a quick a slight detour that cost you to be a turn late. I don't like time victories. I have won several of them when I was first starting this game out, and I just know that it's not fun. I would much rather win or lose through being conquered, or win through domination, cultural, and I have lost before to some space races. I've never lost to a religious before, or won with a religious. Anyways, so the stuff that I have turned on. So I like choosing my own religions. So it'll be whenever we discover a religion technology, which we are going to be discovering at least one, it's going to allow us to pick from any of the religions. And the ones that I always go for is, and keep in mind that when I first played this, I was a kid, so I just really like sounds and well, the way the religion symbol looked, but I'd always pick Taoism whenever I could. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was a pretty cool religion, and then when I learned about it in a world's religion class that I took a couple of years ago as an elective, I actually got to learn what it was all about, and I think the religion's pretty solid. Am I a big worshiper of religions? Not really, but I can respect that. I can respect, you know, other people's beliefs and religions, and Taoism is probably one of the ones that I do respect the most. And the other one, of course, because well, I don't like to. I'm Catholic, and the closest thing to that is Christianity. Although I pretend not to be Catholic a lot of the time. Anyways, that's why I choose religions is on, so you can get the free choice. And there's some new ones in this as well. No technology brokering. I really dislike it when you can just take a technology, sell it to somebody, and they'll sell it to 5 other people. Trust me, I have done this myself before. It's why I'm taking it out, so that I don't do it, the AI doesn't abuse it, and it will help further down the road with another feature that comes with the Rise of Mankind mod, and you'll see, and I'll sort of come back to this point in a minute. I am going to take off required complete kills, and it sort of correlates to the technology brokering for something that comes a little bit later. I will take vassal states, mainly because I like getting them through capitulation. It shows that you are clearly stronger, and you can make somebody, you know, like your lesser. And well, my goal is to either do that or win through a space race, or maybe even culture, since I do go very wonder heavy. I don't think I'm going to win religious and diplomatic. Well, I could win a diplomatic victory if I manage to capture enough vassals or have a large enough of an empire to do that. Rising Seas, I don't think I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to just keep it off. Barbarians, I'm not going to have that turned on, not at least for this one. And here we get into some of the newer stuff that comes with this mod. So Revolution, which enables a I'll explain a little bit more of this, but basically his cities can revolt and split off to become their own empire. And that's why I don't want that requires complete kills, because obviously you'll eventually, if you forget to say kill off a single galley, or they happen to have an archer a continent away, the score screen is going to become very cluttered. It's already going to be very cluttered, but I want to prevent that. And the technology brokering is also going to help with that, because these guys that come from the Revolution mod tend to have slightly more advanced technology than what the people who they revolted from did. And I don't think it's fair for them to join the game with a bunch of advanced technology and then immediately go trade it off to other people. I don't think that's fair, personally. You can argue with me. I just don't think it's fair. Inquisitions, not a feature that I've played with for a while, but I might try. I might try to see if we can get some Inquisitions going. I don't know what it does. Well, based on definition, it's we would be leading a, you know, we have a certain religion, we're leading a charge against another religion, that we would essentially consider them to be heathens, and just trying to essentially stamp them out. The enable barbarian civilian mod, if they're left alone, they will form new civs. I am not 100% sure if I want to have that in there. I'll come back to that in a minute. Tech diffusions. Technology slowly diffuses, but only to civilizations that are significantly behind. Don't quite know what that means. I haven't been in that situation, so I don't know what that means, unfortunately. And then the dynamic city names. Enable the dynamic city names mod component. It renames cities based on. I do like this. I like it. I love this a lot. That little feature there. And then start as a minor civilization, which means we're at war with everyone until we discover writing. I don't think for this one I'm gonna say no. There are some other mods out there that I might try out in the future as a series. that we will have this minor civilization enabled. So yeah, I think we are. I'm just gonna keep the barbarian civil this mod in here because, well, we're already gonna be getting a lot of them from Revolution. No offense to the AI, I don't know if it's what I have because of what I have installed, or if I need something else like a fix in order to fix it up, but essentially the AI is not exactly the smartest when it comes to keeping an empire happy. And, well, I'll explain that in a bit. I'll showcase that off. But for now, we've gone through everything. I've explained all my choices. I'm just going to set my stopwatch because I'm going to make this an hour-long Civilization gameplay to celebrate the fact that we're starting this off, and kind of as a timer so that I know when to stop. Alright, so I'm setting it to 1 hour, and go. So in 1 hour my clock's going to ring off, and we're going to well, end the episode just after that. Well, I'll make sure to go through that last turn, and then we'll end the episode. So we are starting off as the Washington tribe, and this little key. We're always going to be American, but this keyword here, that's going to change. That'll change. It's very important later on. All right, and it looks like we have a. Don't really like that. Let's go ahead and regenerate the map. I ideally want to start through with start with some fishing with the tile that I can have seafood off of. Or we get one of the new resources called pearls. Ideally. Anyways, what I like doing with my stuff, and this might seem weird to people, this is, I think I will take this start. We don't have a lot of resources around here. We have weaving, we have cotton, which is another new resource, which is revealed by agriculture. We need a plantation, unfortunately, to harvest it. We have one source of clams here, which we can use workboat to get it. We can also harvest off of this rice tile here, and we have a new terrain that this rice is on, which is called a marsh. And a marsh is gives us, I think, I'm not sure, does it give us extra? No, it doesn't give us extra food, but it does give us a tile of production. So by working this, we'll be getting a extra production to the capital, which I really do like that. I don't know what this tile is or what this tile is. If one of these has enough, or this one has another resource, this is going to be a good start. So I think I am going to take this. And before I settle the city, I do want to note that I'm not sure if any of you people watching this are over from Elder Scrolls Legends, well, I don't know if I've ever talked about this, but I love dragons. I really love dragons. Occasionally when I do play this, I will just go into a single player game just so that I have the option to rename my civilization, to rename the civilization, the abbreviation, and what I call it, and essentially what we're called. So this one, and I'm going to be carrying that over into this series. So what I have is I have a bunch of dragon magic cards right beside me. Like Magic the Gathering cards, and well, we're gonna definitely have more cities than I do in this deck, which I have a substantial amount of dragons built up, but we're just going to be naming naming all of our cities after random dragons, and if need be, I'm going to incorporate Hearthstone dragons and Elder Scrolls Legends dragons, because, well, Hearthstone was a game that I played for a long time, and I would love playing with dragon-themed decks, and Elder Scrolls Legends, I like the dragons in it. It just doesn't give you the same kick as Hearthstone did. So this first one, Oh, we were one tile away from that, but we are getting another rice field, which is also going to have that extra production and some furs, which I like. I like that. So this city is going to be DL. I'm going to probably butcher that, but Ojutai, and the DL is short for Dragon Lord. I try to name any capitals that I've conquered Dragon Lords, or in the case that when we run out of those, going to name them after legendary dragons. And we're going to start with Elder Scrolls Legends and then go to Hearthstone. But for now, I have 5 Dragon Lords from the Magic series that we can pull from. Alright, so let's see here. I would like the workboat to immediately work on those clams. Then after that...
Tell me what to do. Awaiting your orders.
Okay, let me collect the city, please. I'm thinking I'm going to get a warrior. No, actually, I'm going to get a worker. I do apologize if this seems really small. This was the only resolution I could fit it on where it would take up the full screen for when I recorded this. And I have tested this. This should come up as full of a screen as I can get it. But I didn't notice this, but we also do have an oasis here, which is going to give us more food and more commerce. I don't believe I can build on this, which is unfortunate. But the fact that it is an oasis, we did get an oasis here, even though I don't know if this would benefit. Oh, this does get the fresh water. Does it? 100% sure. But wow, this is actually a much better spot than I thought. So we were one spot away from getting the shrimp, and that's unfortunate, but I'll take that. And we have incest close to us. It's going to give us some happiness with a bunch of new a few new buildings that we got here, as well as 1 point of healthiness from a Brazar, or a Bazar. I'm sorry for pronouncing it. I am going to butcher a lot of these. So my normal strategy, the opening strategy that I tried to have for this is, oh, actually, before I do that, before I go there, I should mention we can't chop for the tech tree is very, very different, very expansive. There's a ton of new technologies, a ton of new buildings, and there's a lot of new stuff in this, including basically another 2 ages that we can go through. And this incorporates a lot of stuff that was in other mods. So, for example, the Dreadnought armor and some of this technology here are from the Future War mod, which is it's not. I'm going to be covering a lot here, what other mods might have, and what some of the Civilization in mods that came with the game or the expansion has. So I'm not going to be covering certain mods that came with the Civilization 4. There is going to be one mod that I am going to be covering because none of this covers that, and it's more of a story-based mod. But yeah, so this is a very expansive tech tree, and you might be wondering, well, that's great, but we can't chop forests or remove jungles until ironworking, which is very, it's going to take us 11 different technologies in order to get to that. Fortunately for us, building, with the exception of certain improvements, not the farm, but a cottage, I'm trying to think, a workshop, a lumber mill, obviously, and a water mill, which is some of the starting stuff that we're going to start out with. As well as camps, and I think some of these other ones here, that a apple orchard, which we can now get, well, lemons, olives, and these guys will have their own separate orchard. These two have their own separate buildings. Mines are another one. Okay, what I'm trying to say is they can be built in jungle tiles, forests, and it won't chop down the forest. It'll essentially build into them. So the tile will consist of, a grassland that has well, it has nothing on it, but you can have a forest on it, and you can still build a cottage on it, and it won't chop it down. We, of course, are not going to take this path immediately. What I want to do, because we're playing a archipelago style match, is I want to try to get to the Great Lighthouse as quickly as possible. Pardon me for a second while I take a quick drink, because I can feel my throat getting drying out a bit. That's a bit better. So we're going to be going after the Great Lighthouse so that we can get the extra trade routes on the coastal regions, which is where we're going to be settling a lot on. After that, I'm going to try to tech swap as quickly as I can to get to the Colossus, so that I can get extra commerce on all the water tiles. You kind of see what I'm going for here. I want a lot of water-based technology. Or not, I guess not water, but a lot of technology that benefits us to be on the coast, because that's what we're going to be playing with here. That's the name of the game, of our style that we're going to be going for. I'm not going to bother with a bunch of this stuff. Now, in my noble game that I had a lot of people getting wonders, discovering a couple of religions, and I was a little scared that I was going to miss out on the Great Lighthouse. However, I think I can get to it. I think I might be able to get to it on time. Pardon me for a second. Nope, false alarm. Sorry, I thought I had to... never mind. So, in order to get this started off, we're going to need to start with the basic technology, the wheel. Afterwards, I want to get pottery. Pottery into trade, trade into sea. Oh, we do need... Oh, I missed that somehow. No, I take that back. We're going to start with... We are going to start with roads, but we're going to go into sailing afterwards, then pottery, then trade, then seafaring. Hold on a second. Excuse me. I didn't want to, let one, just belch into the camera. And that's going to allow us to get seafaring. And we're going to immediately start work on the Great Lighthouse. By this point, I would like to have a couple of cities built up. Actually, I am changing my mind. I am contemplating a little bit about this. I am going to change my mind because we do have the furs up north. We're going to start with hunting, then stone tools, then the wheel, then pottery, then get to seafaring. And we're gonna. Now I don't know if I can build a silk farm here. I don't know if we still require the calendar in order to build it. In order to build that, but considering the calendar is right here, which require so calendar requires mathematics, and mathematics require trade. So I don't know what to make of that. And then after we get seafaring, we're gonna go mining, metal casting, bronze working, and that will get us all the way to the 2 wonders that we want the most. All in the meantime, we're going to be using this opportunity to reveal horse, deer, and pig. Hopefully, build the camp by the furs. We're gonna get stone tools. We don't need stone or obsidian in order to build the javelineer, which I like that. It'll make it come out faster, but we won't need it. And javelineers they're going to be what I plan on using to conquer cities, if I happen to come across a couple of really close by ones. Because we are, we're on our own around here doesn't mean that we're going to be completely alone. If I was playing continents, sure, we might be completely alone, but we are not. And here's another new resource: pearls, and they're more of a luxury resource. We also have another growth resource called shrimp. And I don't want to put a city up there. If I put one there, and then I put one here, these are kind of in awkward spots. So unless there's like some landmass down here, I'm not sure we're going to get this shrimp right away. Anyways, let's keep going. Now, We do have another one here. The fisherman, a new building here, a fisherman's hut, which will give us +1 food to all water tiles. Another really good one for building on coastal cities. But however, in order to harvest this, your entire empire must have access to at least one of these resources. So fish, crab, whale, or shrimp. Fortunately for us, there's a source of crab here. That's great. That's great. I do apologize. My throat is really, really dry. I need to drink some more water. Pardon me a second while we pass a few turns. So right now, I'm just going to be exploring around with our worker here. Looks like we may have spawned closer to the northern section of the map. And I'm basing that guess off of the fact that down here, we have some nice, standard trees that you'd find. I live in Ontario, so these are kind of some of the trees that we might end up seeing around here. You got some oak, redwood. I don't think redwood grows around here. I might be thinking of am I thinking of dogwood or redwood? I'm not 100% sure, but some birch, maple trees, those type of trees. That's what this reminds me of. Ooh. Suddenly, this desert tile is now very appealing because we'll get rice out of it. We'll get some fish. Do I really want to build here on the incest? I don't know. I need to get a workaround and essentially have him stand on there so I can check out what we can get with plantation we get a lot of money. So yeah, that's going to be a resource I want to pick up. So this is another spot for now. I don't have any way to mark these, unfortunately. So there's a city here, there's one here. This city's going to conflict with 2 tiles from this city and 3 tiles from this city. We can have this one take 1 of here. This city's going to have plenty of resources to pick from, and I might have it just have the lion's share of the stuff that this city can access. So probably give this city that tile so that it can grow. Well, it's going to be next to, I don't know. We'll have to find out when I get down there with some settlers. Alright, but let's send our warrior up north and see what we can find. Now, in the games that I have played, I tend to come across a couple of goody huts, and I've gotten really, really lucky in that they gave me technologies. I'm kind of hoping that I can get that. I can find one of the huts and either get a chunk of gold or a free technology. Oh, by the way, I also think we're in the north because I see a lot of like spruce-esque trees. Ooh, salt. This is the 3rd game that I've managed to start with salt, and I think this is a valuable resource because, well, as you see here, it gives +1 health from salt, and that's as long as you have access to it. But what it also does is, when we get it from the tannery, it gets us extra 10% production, and that can be very valuable. And because it doesn't cost a lot to make a tannery. You just need a butchery and the supply in order to build that. I believe it's only 300 hammers in order to build these 2. Early on, might not, and in kind of weak cities, that might take a bit to achieve. But in cities that have a decent amount of hammers, this is a great way to quickly put together. This is a great building to have in order to bolster your hammers, and it allows you to build land units faster. So it's all around a really, really powerful early game structure to have. I might want to get sailing first now, a little sooner than I think. No. Oh, and the one thing why I'm not building a second workboat is now that you can it doesn't specify it on here, but you can't actually use this to explore. You cannot use a workboat to explore anymore, so that's why I said I was going to get sailing. Well, that's probably the most useless tech, but it has revealed another landmass here. Now, I find, and and it might just be me, but every time I try to explore with a galley out here, because galleys can now enter into open seas, excuse me, any boat can. Any boat, with the exception of the, I think the fishing boat, it can't. But any boat can now go out into open seas. However, every time I try to explore with a galley, it immediately gets hit by a storm, and they die. Same thing goes for a new unit called the War Galley, which just has some extra stats on it. This is going to be a really good city to put right here. And then maybe I put one right here to get access to fish. It's going to conflict 1, 2, and so is it just 2 tiles? So it takes up there. It's going to expand to here, expand to here. So this is going to expand outward. And it's going to conflict with this tile here, this tile here. The city is going to expand out this way. This is going to go out here to here. So it's going to expand. Total of 4 tiles, but I do get some fish out of it. And maybe this might not be the best location for a city. You can't build anything on marshes. The nice thing about the fortunate news, however, is because there's rice right here, we can build a farm on this. But when we eventually get to, I didn't want to select that. I want to select this and just scroll down a little bit here. Canal systems. This allows us the farms to spread irrigation. And that's going to be very important because we can then get farms to spread into these lands here. This is a peat bog, which when we get canal systems, we can drain this because we can't build anything on it right now. Alright, so let's go ahead and just keep going. I'm just trying to explore around a little bit. Kind of sucks that we started on such a small island, though. We're going to only have 4 cities to work. We're going to have 4 cities here, and that's really unfortunate, but I can live with it. The main reason why it's unfortunate is because of this revolt status. So, as you can see there, there's 2 different sections. There's a city section, which was at the top here, and an empire stability, which is right here. You can see the goods and the bads for each of them, and unfortunately, very similar to what actually happened in history, where we are taught with, well, in America they are, and also in Canada, they are taught with the history lessons and the founding of America, or how America started off, which, by the way, Christopher Columbus did not discover America. He did not discover North America. That was the Vikings. Gonna point that out now. I apologize if I offend anyone, but not really. Anyways, colonies does tend to go in the bad side of stability for a city. And that kind of sucks. It wouldn't suck if we were playing on a with a bigger landmass. It does in this instance because we don't have a very big landmass. I can get 4 cities on the mainland here. Afterwards, any other cities that I want is going to be coming from over here. Or, excuse me, when I eventually get to shipbuilding, which is going to require naval warfare, and shipbuilding, we eventually can get triremes and a new ship. I cannot pronounce that. It's essentially a siege ship that can. It's the earliest ship that can bombard cities, and it also gives us a really nice upgrade of Transport 1, which allows us to give any ship an extra cargo slot at the cost of 20% strength. Now, transport ships, this is going to work really nicely for, because you don't want them fighting. Or if they're going to fight, they're basically dead already. No, never mind. I'm specifically have in mind these siege ships, triremes, war galleys, and the traditional galley. I'm pretty sure if you send them into open water, it might not go for triremes, but they will die. They will die almost instantly. Triremes might survive for another turn, but it's unlikely. And going through ocean tiles, it costs 2 movement instead of the standard 1. So getting out these seed ships, because they will survive in open waters. They will astronomically longer, and these are going to be our earliest explorer ships. When we get the ability to give them some promotions, we're going to be giving them transport, and then slowly transporting units to here. Now, galleys still have the 2 spaces, and we can transport them over to here, but I first have to get sailing. Now, if I happen to find another civilization, and I'm actually going to quickly have you pop over here so I can discover if there's any good resources in this tile. I might even have you come down here and discover this one, because there could possibly be some fish in that. There's not. Alright, so we've explored all that our little island has to offer. Now I'm going to position these guys up by the peat bog / marsh. And I want them there so that in case another civilization comes down this way to try to explore, I can see them and I'll know that they're over on this continent. If they explore with a land unit. If they explore with a ship unit, then they could be quite literally any number of islands up this way. Maybe this island loops over here and comes down to connect to this one. I don't know. I just know that this is not... We have a good capital city start. We do not have a good expansion plan here, which is unfortunate because I'm playing as a very expansive character, which, by the way, we should probably go over the traits because they're slightly different with these. So, I don't know quite the difference between vanilla, and I don't know all the complete differences between vanilla and this, but what is striking out to me is different is we have 50% faster clone production and 25% faster android production. And why did that go off of that? Oh, and also constructor ships. We have double production of aqueducts. I think that might have been normal. River ports, which is a new building that relies on rivers. As long as you have a river close to the city, you can build a river port. Excuse me. Harbors. Pretty sure that was the same thing as in the vanilla. Ports, which is something completely different. Stop doing that, please. And the archaeology, which, if you've played the Future War mod in the that came with the Beyond the Sword, you'll know what that is. That's a little difficult for me to explain. So charismatic, say 1 plus happiness per city, that stays the same. That's the same from vanilla. Minus 25% XP needed for unit promotions, same from vanilla. +1 happiness from monuments, broadcast towers, communication towers, network nodes, and the statue champion. The last 3 are different from the base game. So not too much. There's also a bunch of different new civ traits that are fitting. For example, again, I went against the Koreans in my first game ever with this, and they had and their leader was very deceptive. So that didn't really help for me when I started conquering them, or at least when I conquered what happened with their capital city. So their empire became unhappy, and both their capital city and another really good city split off and formed the Babylonian Empire. And that was a very interesting game.
If you chase 2 rabbits, you will lose them both.
By the way, with all the new technologies, I will be reading them out since they don't come with a lovely voiceover of, oh, I can't remember the name of this. Let me know in the comments section if you do. I want to say Leonard Nimoy, but I don't know if that's wrong. I don't know if I'm right with that. Anyways, we can now get a few units. Horseman, which is a new unit-ish. Somewhat. Not really. And now slavery has an... Oh, by the way. Well, and I don't plan on getting this because this is probably what is going to tear my civilization apart. But slavery is its own separate not civic technology. And from it, you can adopt slavery and slave market, which will give you extra production and money. And that's sort of to make up for the downgrade that slavery gives you. I'm not going to be getting this. I don't want the unhappiness, and in the future, in the late game, I don't know what liberal does, but that 4 unhappiness, yeah, it's going to be manageable with a lot of the resources that we got, but when it comes to, at least on the main island, but when it comes to colony cities, it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be that manageable if we have a bunch of slave pens out there. Or, I'm not sure if unadopted slavery gets rid of them, I don't know. Like I said, there's still a lot about this game that I have to learn. At least about this mod that I have to learn. Okay, let's start with up here. Oh, and there are also new pathway types we can get. Well, no, new roads. So we can get a path, which requires the wheel, and that just connects resources up to the capital. Monarchy gives us gets us the ability to build a road, and paved road with some stone and the knowledge of construction will get us this. These, they don't cost gold to maintain, but they do cost gold to create. And essentially, you're paying for what the gold cover... Alright, let me try this again. The gold, that will... Essentially, you're paying... The gold pays to have units use less movement points on them. So, I know it looks like we can... For now, we can only get these 3, but when we get later on to the game, the 3 more will become available for us to see. When I get the wheel, we are just going to make a path from here to the capital. This is going to take 25 turns. We'll have most stone tools researched. And what I also do like getting is a bunch of warriors, so I can, or a bunch of javelineers if I happen to have the technology, and just essentially prevent any barbarians from spawning on my island. That's the advantageous part of having. Why isn't this? I have access to crabs. That's weird. Anyways, let's build 4 warriors because I anticipate I'm going to need 1 here, 1 probably in the trees over here, and 1 over here. If I move this. You know, I gotta keep him there to see stuff. And then a 4th one to guard the city, obviously. We might have stone tools. Yeah, we're gonna have stone tools before the 3rd one pops out. So that last one might actually become a javelineer just to defend the city. And, well, I'm gonna change this up a little bit so I can get this quicker. So we're going to get stone tools, then sailing, which is going to unfortunately going to require weaving, then the wheel, then the pottery, then trade, seafaring, excuse me, and then bronze working. Oh, no, actually, no, I can live with that. Afterwards we get masonry and then animal husbandry, then go right to writing. And writing is going to allow us technology trading and open borders. This is nice. We're going to have 2 salt veins all ready to go. That's going to be really nice. I do have to link this one up to here, but at least we'll get access to the salt. So, it sucks that it's in a desert tile, which actually makes me think we're sort of closer to the middle since we are seeing some desert tiles. Now that I think about it. But you never know. This is a sort of a random map. It's not really playing to any standard. So this is the first few turns. Our borders have popped, which might mean that we may only need 2 warriors guarding over here. 1 here, and likely another 1 here. There's a stray lion wandering around. Alright, so you report to there so we can have eyes on the coast. I don't want any barbarian units spawning in. They could prove trouble to me down the road, especially I have seen big barbarian rushes on Prince in the base vanilla game. I don't know how much harder they are in this. Alright, so one more right there should do the trick. Our city's about to grow. That's excellent. Let's head up here and build a camp. And as you can see, we are currently in a forest, and building the camp there will not remove the forest. It'll just build it right into the camp. So we can keep that extra production that we get from there and get another production out of it. Unless, are we already... Oh, never mind. There's just already one there. But we'll get more gold, we'll get more commerce out of it, and we don't have to pay production. And I do like keeping the forests around here. I might trim away, for strategic purposes, the ones directly around the capital. Or, not around the capital, but around the cities. And the reason for that is so that whenever I get attacked by another civilization and they have their army parked outside, I can have the defenders poke out and try to kill them. All right, so I'm gonna start work on a workboat instead, and then when we get the Javelineer built, or not Javelin, but when we get stone tools, we're gonna switch over to the Javelineer. I see a really good opportunity to get some gold, so we're going to go ahead and pick up a little bit of gold. Oops, that's not the button I was going to press. A man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. I don't know why it's not going to work for this. I'm pretty sure it's going to work. Well, it's going to work on the next one, but it's got the wrong line of text. And this leads to a bunch of technology, and it's going to give us stone and obsidian. And we didn't get any. That's unfortunate. I am hoping to get copper. If we don't get copper... Oh, never mind! We're on top of stone! Okay, that works! That's going to get... Sadly, we can't improve that, but that is going to give the capital a little extra production, I think. As well as access to the nice stone. Alright, I am going to be quiet for some points just so I can preserve my voice a little bit. I don't have any water close to me and I don't want to go pause and run upstairs and grab some water. So I'm going to power through this. What's the difference between dropping it down by 5% to get... Nope. It's not even going to make a difference in how much gold we get. We are going to run into a bit of a deficit soon. Alright, got that established. We're not going to be able to connect these resources up to the capital right away, but we can go ahead and just improve them. Improve one farm there. I think I'm going to put these two as farms. No, this is going to be a farm. That's going to be a farm. This is going to be a cottage, a mine, cottage, mine, lumber mill, because we can get that with machinery. Lumber mill. We're going to have a bit of a nice diverse set of land up here. And I meant to change this over. We can keep it going. Get the Javelineer. This is going to grow in 31 turns. We'll get a second Javelineer. Do I want to go to 4 Javelineers, or do I want to build another workboat? So let's see, that's... So 29, 20... 11. Okay, we'll keep that. And we'll build a settler at the end of it. I just want to have the extra population. Why'd you switch from that? No, continue to harvest that. I want the extra production. And this, I think I'm going to find the next city around here. Oh, we're going to need monuments in order to make that work. Oh, I'll need to get ritualism too. So I think I might have enough time. Let's get sailing, then that, nope. Well, that would be the quickest way to get to it, wouldn't it? But that gets archery. So no, it's not the quickest way. So 50, 52 versus 65. It's going to be a little bit quicker, and 70 a little bit slower. 77 versus 80. I'm pretty sure getting archery and naval warfare gets you there slightly faster. But this, oh, and then we all said, okay, never mind. This is definitely going to get you there faster. Question is, do I really want to take that? Let's take the risk. This is a bit of a risky path since we'd still have to research the wheel as well. And if a civilization, well, it depends on if they have fishing or not. If they don't have fishing, then it's going to take them some time to get fishing. But if they have the wheel, then they just need fishing. And essentially, well, worst case scenario, a civilization has fishing and the wheel. I don't know when that does, but we're going to take that. I'm willing to take that risk. We're not the most powerful, I know that. Which is a little bit of a surprise, considering 3 warriors puts us on the top. Maybe it might be a difference of a javelineer and a warrior. So you can see, we went from 6,000 BC, and we're already sitting at about 100 turns. This isn't going to go by very quickly. What do I think is going to pop? I think the borders of this is going to pop. So we're going to place the next one over by the shrimp. Alright. This javelineer. That's the city that I want to settle it at. I want to settle it here. Once we get this guy, this javelineer to here, I'm going to delete this warrior. Not that it's going to make a difference in our economy at the moment. But it will still, every little bit helps. Goodbye, thank you for your duty. Thank you for your service. Move there. Get a farm. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this, but farms will now also give a small chance of spawning agricultural goods. So corn, rice, wheat, and the new resource called potatoes. You have a chance of discovering that. Does farming reveal that? No, it just reveals cotton. So you just already know some of those resources. And if you think we're starting really far back with this mod, there's another mod that takes us even further back in time. And I don't know if I'm going to make a series on it. I might not. I don't know. We will see. So this is going to be the last city that I settle here. Main reason, I want to see if excuse me, if settling this city on this desert tile will get us more of these resources. If it doesn't, I might just settle here and then settle one tile inland here, and there's a very high chance that this is going to be, oh yay, we are now a state. Congratulations. Oh, another one of this. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kine, and the flocks of thy sheep. Thank you, thank you, thank you. No sheep. Oh, we also didn't discover any pigs, horses, or deer here, which is unfortunate. So I'm just going to have this guy set up and wait there by the shrimps. Since I believe it's going to be, well, quite a ways away before we get ritualism. If we're lucky enough, we might be able to discover an AI who has writing, and they'll give it to us. Although, so far, we haven't actually seen any AI pop over here. It's been about 100 turns. Normally in my playthroughs, I've discovered an AI, well, I shouldn't say that. The first time I played this, I discovered the Koreans, I think about, when did I discover them? I discovered them after I'd colonized my entire land, and that was about 6 or 7 cities. Ooh, nice. Extra commerce is not bad. Alrighty, where are we currently harvesting from there? Let's see if we can pop this out. Yep, that's even better. I want a farm there. And this city here is going to take that farm from them so that it gets a really good growing resource. Or not a resource, but a really good growing and that extra production. This is one of my favorite types of tiles. I'm pretty sure the mod here does add in a bunch of new terrains. I forgot to mention that, but I'm thinking it also does upgrade these tiles a bit more as well, because I think normally this can only get 3. Like 3 food. But this one gets us 4. And obviously having the extra hammer and some food, that's going to really help out a lot. Wow, we jumped up. Apparently the production of 2 javelineers and deleting a warriors made us the 2nd most powerful civilization. That's kind of, well, that sounds about realistic. It probably just adds up the total power of all of our units. So currently we're sitting at 10 power, which means a civilization out there has a unit value that equals more than 10. I don't think it could be that much more. It might be maybe 1 more point. They might have 1 more javelineer over or they might have 5 units out. All right, so I do try to use the keys a lot, but since I can spam quick this a lot faster, I'm gonna do that. Well, this is starting to take a little bit longer. I'm wondering if I don't think we have any civilizations breaking off. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alrighty. Nope. Just continue to work that. We need that rich. That's a really good tile for us to work there. That's going to help us. That might be what gets us enough in order to make up for getting the stone tools that early. And I wanted that and the hunting as well. Well, hunting, this is paid for already. Now we are going to have to drop this down to 90% turn meter in order to accommodate for the settler, but I'm going to drop it down in my transition between sailing and pottery. Alright. Well, problem is, I don't have anything else for you to work on, really. Once we get sailing, I will. We can get a 3rd workboat. They think the best choice for the city is there. I disagree. I would like to put the city up here. The city's going to have completely independent borders. Or completely independent from the... Ooh! Oh, that is luck. That is really lucky that this only cost 10 gold. Because as you can see, we're currently on a deficit. We're going to have to decrease to 90, most likely. But that is really lucky. That is really lucky for this event to have happened. And this is going to yield even more than this tile does. Just by 1, but it's still an extra commerce. What is this currently giving us? 1 commerce and the extra 2 hammers. That's going to go a long way when we start to build. That was a really lucky find there. I might have to decrease to 80% research. I don't look forward to that. Alright, we're just going to super fly through these turns. Minus that, settle city. And the new city is going to be drawn from on my Magic the Gathering deck and called Dragon Egg. I don't want to grow anymore. I don't have anything else to build though. Oh, shoot, I actually have to increase that by a bit. Well, I suppose you can supply us with a couple of Javelineers. That's not going to hurt. Alright, so that's the lowest we can go. We get an extra 16 gold per turn.
You can't direct the wind.
Oh, we got to
but
get
you
the wheel
can
first.
adjust your sail.
These are going to be two very important buildings. Ah, and we even got a free galley! Okay, I'll take that. Woohoo! I got a free galley from that. That's awesome. I'm going to keep this galley here until we can get another Javelineer. And then I'm going to safely guide this all the way to here. And then start exploring this. That is... Oh, actually, no. Just take the galley. Just take it. Barbarians aren't going to be a threat for a while. So let's see what we can increase this research up to. We can go to 85%. That's okay. That's fine. I can't believe... That's the second time that ever playing this that this has happened. I got a free galley. That, again, free. Free. I'm happy with that. Alright. Oh, I can't quite cottage there yet. Can I mine? No, I have a farm there. Yes, farm there. Yes. Can I farm anywhere else? No, I can't. That's unfortunate. Can I put a farm up there? I can't. Some of these buildings you can start to construct outside the borders. Mine is an instance. You can construct mines outside of your own cultural borders. So, I don't know. Say I didn't want to set up a city there. I could have put a mine there. I think I'm going... There's not much I want you to do. I don't want to put up any more farm. Well, we could put up one more farm. Afterwards... Oh. Right, I forgot you. So if I get you to just... You two to head into the borders. Is that going to be enough that my cost... I can go cruise at 90? I don't know the answer to that. Let's send this workboat over there. Keep you going. I don't want you to enter open ocean. This was a really lucky event, and I'm very happy with it. Okay, so, yeah. As long as we keep... Alright, we can't put anything else outside of the city, but we can keep going at 90%. That's big. That's pretty big for this. No, I don't care at the moment. Let me examine the city. You know what? Fine. Get another Javelineer, and we can get that. Alright, but first, I need this to continue to grow. Or not grow, but I need... oh, another really good... Oh. This is a bit of a glitch that I find with this, and I don't have a New Dawn part installed, which I don't know if that also gives some extra, like some fixes, but this doesn't do anything. It just gives -2 negativity, so we're just going to forget the tests. I know normally it's a very powerful effect. I might actually have this galley continue to explore. See what it can find. And this is another small island. No wonder why we haven't seen anybody. You can see the outline of the ocean there. So, city here, and then maybe... no, I like a city there and a city there. Yeah. So our instead of settling a city here... Oh no, we won't be able to get the... We're missing out on some resources. But I think I can live with the city... Oh, no, actually, I don't need that. If we have a city there and a city there, it's going to get the salt and the clamp. So we can keep the city there. We're just not going to have a city posted over there. And we don't have any culture going in the city. It's poor. So... Yeah, that's a little unfortunate. You can get one Javelineer and then the lighthouse. since you are going to be harvesting off of commerce tiles for a while. We're not wealthy whatsoever. This is gonna suck. Okay, fish there. That's making this a little more valuable to put a city there, because we can grow into those fishing tiles. Okay, so seeing how I don't have any other civilizations around me, and, well, at least to conquer, there might be something over there, but I need the siege ships in order to get access to it. So,
At your service.
Head around this side of the island. I want to try to keep this island lit up so that I don't have barbarians spawning on it. I'm not going to be able to see into that forest. Can I move these guys over? I can't. It's going to cover up 3, and I'm only revealing 1. No. Yeah, we'll keep you there. But this guy, we got to keep over here. I don't know, just stay in sentry patrol. You're going to have to stay in sentry mode too. Fortunately, they are going to spawn barbarian and warriors first. And another nice feature about this is the sentry mode. You can either have them, you can have them just complete like sentry anything, or only sentry the what they are. So land units will only stay on sentry and look out for land units, and water units will only look out for water units. There's the Stonehenge, and that's not a surprise that somebody's got mythicism. I imagine we're soon going to be seeing a religion. We're probably going to see them go priesthood and then maybe a religion. That's fine. I know that they did this. They took the quickest path to here. I'm going to be unsure of what they're doing up along this tech tree, though. I don't want people to steal the Colossus from me, though. That's going to be unfortunate if they do. Alright, so another bunch of turn spam ends. This is actually not that bad, not a good spot, unless... And this is an extra... Oh, something happened. What happened? Oh, the lighthouse finished. That's what happened. Oh, but now we're at -1. Why are we at -1? I think I'm okay if... Let's get rid of this. Ah, that didn't do it. Alright, do we need... let's get rid of you. No? Maybe get rid of you? Maybe have you come home? Alright, so now you kind of have to wait until we get the wheel. But the capital is already connected. So let's start with the deer. And we'll go up to the beaver. Make a road there, a cart path there, and a cart path there. That'll connect all these resources up to the capital. Then we can cart path on the cotton afterwards. Alright, let's just bring these guys back. I'm wondering, can our borders just naturally see this peat bog? If the answer is yes, then we should be safe. So there's the first religion, and sadly it's Christianity. I ideally would have I could have taken that. As long as I get a religion, I'll be happy. The third one that I would like to get, and it's a new religion in this, is Hellenism. And I want to get that because their monasteries will allow us to get a unique upgrade whenever we produce a new unit out of that city. And it's a very useful upgrade too. I'll show it off when we get to it. But out of the 3 religions I would like to find, Christianity, Taoism, and Hellenism, sadly Christianity has been taken up. Alright. Now just wait there. Okay, come on. Please tell me this is going to fix the, that did not fix it either. Oh, that's unfortunate. Deleting this maybe gonna... Oh, that didn't do it either. I didn't want to do it, but we have to go down. So this guy... He's got to go there. But our cultural borders can see over there. Let's get this guy into a city before, because there are now new events that can either get these guys, that can get our ship units stuck on stuff in shallow waters, or it will flat out just sink them. And I don't want to lose that galley, even though it's not useful at the moment. All right, let's fortify there. Just await some further instructions. At least our gold's going up per turn.
Push your shoulder to the wheel.
Nice, very nice. That allows us to get siege warfare and chariotry. And pottery is what we are going for next, which is going to allow us to build cottages. Alright, let's keep going. I'm just gonna check my timer. Apparently my timer has went off. I kinda want to play a few more turns. Oh, we're gonna play until we get that settler out. Okay, let's do this. Since it's just gonna be a bunch of quickly end the turns. And I guess I can just continue to talk for a bit. So if you do want to see more content of this, let me know. I am going to be continuing with this series at least until the very end. Well, at least this game until the very end. But if you want to see more after that, let me know in the comments section below. I might just naturally bring one. We are not the most advanced. That's okay, as long as nobody has the ability to build the Great Lighthouse, which gets obsolete with, let's say, capitalism or corporation? Corporation. I thought capitalism might have been a technology in this, which would have been funny. Anyways, if you do enjoy this type of content, let me know in the comments section below. And I will definitely endeavor to bring more of it guaranteed in the future. I know this is a bit of a... this is sort of getting stalled out a little bit because, well, we do have to end a lot of turns. I'm hoping that in the next one, in the next episode, which I'm going to be making the recording right after this, since I still have a lot of energy left in me, and we're just going to keep it going. So leave a comment, let me know what you think. If you've played Haze of Mankind, please don't spoil anything or tell me what's the best pathway to go. I do have up to the Renaissance era figured out for the best pathway that I do want to do with this, but I might experiment a little bit with that, but I don't want any spoilers with this. There's a huge reward in it, at least for me personally, if I'm able to figure it out on my own. And looks like, okay, let's take the longest, we'll take workboats. So let's go ahead and just constantly produce workboats, since for some reason I can't make a fisherman's hut. And put the city down here. So we are going to find the city right now, so we can get it developing a lighthouse. And this is going to be the city of Deathbringer Regent. It's just going to be shortened to Deathbringer, since I can't fit Regent in there. Lighthouse. And hey, what are you doing working that tile? Work that tile. That's a much better tile for you, because this city ain't taking it. Well, no, the only thing I could change here to get more food is if I change this to here, and I need that commerce to get me pottery quicker. So that's going to do it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you everybody for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Hit that subscribe button if you really enjoyed. Don't forget to share this video or any of my other videos to anybody who you think will enjoy my content. Next time on Civilization, I'm going to have some water beside me so I'm not constantly experiencing a dry throat from talking so much. And we're going to get the Great Lighthouse. Fingers crossed. Hopefully we get it. Till then, take it easy.